Hello everybody, welcome to another video of Andrew Nicole. If you've been watching my PC build for 2021, this is part 3 of the 3-part series of my computer for 2021. In part 1, I unboxed all the components that I bought. In part 2, I assembled this big box. And in part 3, I was going to show you how to install Windows operating system and the different apps and drivers that you will need, at least for my particular build. Now, I will explain later on where to download and where to find the correct drivers for your computer. So please stay tuned and watch until the end of the video. Alright, so now I'm going to teach you how to install or at least download your Windows 10 operating system files before you install in your newly assembled computer. Now I'm going to show you a few ways how to download the files from the internet. Now the first easiest way is to go to Google and type in Windows 10 ISO download. Now several things should pop up in the search, so you can click some of these. Now if you click this, you will actually go to this window, and Microsoft website would ask actually you to download a tool. You can go to here, create Windows 10 installation media, and you can download the tool now, and you will download a tool like this. Alright, let me just run it for you. So the Windows 10 setup, it will try to figure out what your system is and find the right operating system for you. But this is the Microsoft way. Now I'll show you later an easier way wherein you don't need to go through this media creation tool. You just have to download the ISO file directly. Now let me just give you a run through of this one, how to use the Windows 10 setup. This one takes a little bit of time. Just click agree and accept, and it will give you options wherein you can install directly or you can create a USB or DVD media. Okay, so the Windows 10 setup would ask you what you want. You want to upgrade this PC, so we're not going to choose that. We're going to create an installation media using a USB flash drive, DVD, or ISO file for another PC. So I'm using my old computer to download the file. So if you have your own laptop, or you can borrow your friend's computer, you can do this and create an installation media. You don't need a product key for you to download the ISO file. This is very legal. So you can choose, okay, so English, choose English. Edition is Windows 10. And now you can actually download 32-bit, but usually we choose 64-bit. Or you can download both, it doesn't really matter. So for us, we just choose 64-bit, click on next. Now you will be asked if you want to use or at least create a media in the USB flash drive. You should at least have an 8 gigabytes USB. Make sure you insert it in your drive. Or you can just download an ISO file wherein you can burn the ISO file later with a DVD or into a DVD, or I will show you how to burn that ISO file in a USB flash drive. Now the ISO file, you can keep it for next time if you want to install in another computer. Now I won't be downloading this file anymore. This one is around 6 gig. Depending on your internet connection, you will have a shorter or longer time. With me, I have a 35 Mbps download speed. It took me around 30 minutes to download that file. Okay, so click next, and it is very straightforward. Okay, now once you download, you will be asked where to install save the ISO file. Just choose wherever you want, maybe in your desktop or your downloads folder. It doesn't really matter. Once you choose it, it will download on its own, and it will create a file, an ISO file, wherein you can burn. Okay, so that's the first way how to download the ISO file for your Windows 10. Another way, let me just quit this one, is that you can just directly download the ISO file without going through the Windows 10 download tool. Okay, so from the Windows 10 ISO, you can just search for this guy, or I'll put the links down in the description. Here it is. So with this website, actually they have a very detailed way to install or set up a installation file. Just go to this one, the direct download links. Okay, you can download the 64-bit or 32-bit. So again, it's around 6 gigabytes, or depending on the version. Okay, so far, as of February 2021, this is the latest version 20H2. So click this and you will download a file, an ISO file similar to this one. Actually, this is the file that I downloaded using from that site. This is a safe file. It is downloaded directly from Microsoft servers. Now, once you downloaded this file, how do you put it into a USB bootable? Now, once upon a time, when you want to install a Windows operating system in your computer, you have to save in a DVD drive. Now, you can use this ISO file still to save in your DVD drive, but nowadays USB is much faster. So what all you have to do is go to this website, rufus.ie, or just basically Google RUFUS and download this one here. Okay, this is the file, and in your downloads you'll find this file. Okay, now let's run this one, put it up here. So this is what it looks like, the RUFUS 3.13. okay, so it updates. Okay, so when you insert your USB drive, instantly you will be the RUFUS software will recognize it. Okay, then you can choose which ISO file. So let's click select. Since I already downloaded, let's choose this one. This is the ISO file that we downloaded. You can also do this with if you use the media creation tool when you update or download the ISO file. It's the same procedure. Okay, so with that, basically you choose standard Windows installation. Partition is GPT, depending on your system. If you still have the old style, the master boot MBR. Okay, but for me, I use the GPT and UEFI. Just leave it as that, and you can actually rename the label, okay, of the USB. Just save it as NTFS default. Keep it in default quick format. Okay, so when you're ready, okay, you can click start. Now, fair warning, this one will totally reformat your USB drive. So make sure that your file has no USB drive has no files that are important, or you back it up first before you use that USB file. When you're ready, just click start. Okay, so it will tell you a warning, everything will be erased. Okay, so let's try it out. So this one will take some time to copy and do the installation. So I will just fast forward it in the video. So it's copying the ISO files now. So it will probably take about 15 minutes or 10 to 15 minutes depending on the USB drive speed that you have. Okay, so once it's finished, we will now hop on to our newly built system and insert that the USB drive to our USB port, either at the back or at the front panel, and we can go to the BIOS, which I will show it to you. Show you. Okay, so we will not wait for this anymore, because actually I've done this and I already have a USB drive ready. Okay, so there you have it, guys. This is just the preparation for the USB for you to download the Windows 10 operating system. Now, later on, once you should have your own Windows key. All right, so with that you can actually install already. Okay, so let's proceed to the the actual installation method and show you how when I inserted the USB drive and how to install it. Okay, I made a custom USB operating system installation. I downloaded it from somewhere else. Okay, so let me just cancel this one, or maybe not. So let's just let it finish. Okay, so let's go to our actual installation. Alright, so after you have created your USB Windows 10 operating system thumb drive, so as I mentioned a few moments ago, you save it in a USB thumb drive like this one, and you boot into the Windows, or at least boot into your motherboard's UEFI or the BIOS. Okay, to do that, once you restart, there's a very short and quick prompt asking you to hit the delete or the F2 or F11, whichever is your keyboard key requirement, to go into your BIOS. Okay, and the main thing that you will be looking for is how to boot from the USB drive. Okay, so in this MSI X570 Tomahawk, or at least in general MSI motherboards, there is what we call the boot priority. You can actually move these around to test or at least to set the priority. It means whichever is on the left side is the first one the system will check for a bootable system. Okay, so as you can see, my USB thumb drive is already recognized because I already inserted that thumb drive in my case. Okay, and the next one is the floppy, so we don't have anything on these. And I put the NVMe drive, the ADATA SX8200 at the very end. So the system will go through each one of these until they find a bootable system. So since in my USB I have a bootable USB, it should boot the startup for the Windows. All right, so let's try to boot and restart. Okay, so let's try to reorder some of these. Okay, and just play around and restart. Okay, so say you don't have many changes, so let's restart. Hopefully it boots from the USB thumb drive. And with the USB thumb drive, it will load the Windows 10 setup. It will allow you to install a fresh Windows, or at least repair some of your system if you need to. Okay? Sometimes it's useful to plug it into a USB 3 if you have a USB thumb drive. It allows you to create or install your Windows faster. Okay, so we have successfully went into the Windows setup. So you can choose which language, US, currency, and time format. Okay, input US. I just click on next and click on install now. Okay, so this is just a simple walkthrough. Setup is starting. All right, so just accept the terms and conditions. And you're given these options. Which type of installation do you want? You want to upgrade? You will install in Windows and keep file settings and applications, or you make a custom install, meaning you want to do a clean install. Usually I do choose this one, okay, the clean one. Now, as you can see, my drive already has some partitions in it. What you can do is delete everything. Oh, when you delete, it will completely format your system. Everything that you have saved in that drive will be formatted. Now, as you can notice, there's drive 0 and multiple partitions. This is normal. Windows will automatically create partitions for you. Now, if you are not sure whether if you're migrating from a old hard drive and you put your old hard drive in your new system, I suggest you don't connect it first, especially when you are installing Windows, because you might mistakenly delete or format your drive, and once you do, bye-bye data already. Okay, so let's do this and delete everything. So this is a one-way street. You cannot go back once you've done this. So in my drive 0, everything is already unallocated. I have about 1 terabyte of data, and you just select this one and click next. The system will automatically copy everything, create the partitions, do its thing. Okay, so I will fast forward this portion, and Windows is already copying from the USB drive to the NVMe storage. This normally takes about 10 to 30 minutes depending on your system. If you have a speedy computer, usually it takes a short while to do everything, to reinstall your fresh Windows. Okay, so when you reach this restarting point, you have to unplug your USB drive, or else it will boot from that drive again. Okay, so I'll have removed my drive. It should boot from the hard drive already. Okay, I think we have the system. So what kind of a USB drive that you need? You can opt to use an 8 gigabytes USB thumb drive to load your ISO system. So you just wait until this is finished. Usually it takes a few more minutes for Windows to set up everything in your NVMe drive, or in your SATA drive, or in your hard drive if you're still using an old technology. Okay, so once you reach this point, it will now ask you for certain settings. So you start with which region where are you? I just put in United States. You can always change this later on. And which keyboard? Since I use US layout keyboard, just click US. My mouse is a little junky. Next. Skip this one, or add another layout of keyboard. So I suggest at the initial settings, you don't connect to the internet. So just choose I don't have internet connection. Okay, so Windows will be persistent. They will ask you to keep connecting to the internet, but for now, just continue with limited setup. Who's going to use this PC? Now this one is creating an offline account, so it's mainly my computer, so I'll put in my name. Let's see my name. Okay, so that's my name. Where's my mouse? Okay, there you go. Click next. So for now, I will not set any password because anyway, I'll set it later on. So for this one, I suggest you turn everything off so that Windows cannot track you, and especially these advertising IDs, location. You can actually turn this on later on if you want, but for now, just turn it all off. Okay, just accept. Do more device activity history. Okay. Cortana, no, not now. Alright, so Windows is finishing up its settings. It will try to load the drivers the current operating system have, but it will take some more few minutes. It used to be that formatting your computer takes a lot of time. I had experiences before, and I've been doing it for my friend. It took me around a day to completely reformat his system, install all the apps. But now the reformatting process is very, very easy, and I'm sure you can do it. If you have any questions, please feel free to put down in the comments below, and I'll be gladly to answer, or at least help you to install your Windows operating system for your new computer. Alright, so the system has reached its desktop. It means I have already successfully installed the operating system. Okay, so in the next section, I'll be showing where to download all the drivers necessary for the computer and what are the apps that I'll be using. Alright, so after you have installed your Windows and after you have updated your Windows, connected to the internet, making sure all the installation files are updated, everything is there are no more updates in the settings of the Windows. Now we will proceed to trying to update the drivers directly from the website of MSI and to install the different softwares that you will need to make sure your system is running up to date, to iron out some bugs. Okay, so pretend we are already in this computer, in the new one. So you go to the MSI website, search your motherboard. For me, my motherboard is MAG X570 Tomahawk Wi-Fi. Now in this section of the page, you'll see BIOS, drivers, manual, and utility. Now, as you can see from my last video, I did a BIOS flashback. Now they have a new updated BIOS supporting the SAM technology. We will download that and make an update. And these are the previous BIOS. If I'm not mistaken, my latest BIOS is version 1.4. Okay. Now you go to the drivers page and you select your operating system and all the drivers for your motherboard will be present. Okay, you have drivers for the RAID. Okay, download that if you're going to use a RAID, and AMD chipset. Now usually this AMD chipset is not that updated. I'll show you later where to download the right file. And this is the onboard VGA drivers. Now normally I don't use the onboard VGA, but if you do, you can download that one as well and install it. These are the LAN drives, the Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, and the Realtek. As of the recording of this one, we have updated February 5th, so it's okay, it's present. And of course the onboard audio, the Realtek universal driver. Okay, you can also opt to download manuals if you want to, for soft copy if you want. And the MSI Dragon Center, this is a software for your operating system that can control your MSI products. Alright, so I already downloaded some of these drivers, but I'll show you the AMD website. This is the website for you to download the chipset. You can actually search X570 drivers and support from your Google Drive, or I'll put the links down below where you can click it for X570 motherboards, and you can download this file as well. So as you can see, the latest version is 2/13/27501. The release date is just yesterday. So unlike in the MSI, it's December 11. So just download this one and use this one when you install. And of course, you can also go directly to Nvidia. So you can search Nvidia download drivers and search your GPU if you're using Nvidia. Now if you're using AMD Radeon, you can just search Radeon graphics driver and just install, then download from the folder, download from the site itself. The Windows driver, the automatic updates downloads automatically, but the file is not updated. Okay, now let me share a very nice tool that I usually use for a freshly installed computer. Normally you would go to the website of each app that you would download and download one by one and install one by one. Now this one, you can go to Ninite.com. This one installs a download. You can choose which files that you want, or at least which programs that you want to use. Now they are always up to date at the time of your downloading. Okay, so let me show you. Let me show you the different apps that you can download with this nifty tool. Okay, so for me, I choose Chrome, okay, as my browser, and I don't use any of these. These are for like Microsoft Office productivity suites that is equivalent, okay, like this one. Okay, so for utilities, I usually download WinDirStat to check my file system, the Glary tools to check my general utilities, and since we are already in pandemic, I need the Zoom. Okay, if you need Discord, you can download that. And for security, usually I use Avast. You can opt to choose other security software. For developer tools, if you need one, I don't need anything like those. For media, I need iTunes, I need VLC, I need K-Lite, okay, even Spotify. So some of these, they have a very small description, okay. And for compression, I use 7-zip, the free open source one. For runtimes, I don't use Java anyway. For file sharing, I use Qubit Torrent, Dropbox, Google Drive. I don't use OneDrive, but download it anyway. Now for imaging section, you have these things. I use GIMP and IR Fan View. And for others, of course, I am a gamer. I use Steam. Okay, so once you choose or you have selected the apps that you want or the programs that you want, you just click this one, and you'll be prompted to download a very small file, okay, like this. And let me show you the downloads folder. Okay, the downloads folder. Okay, so you have this file, the Ninite. So all the apps that you have selected, you will be downloading automatically. Run this file like this. So it's preparing setup. So it will ask you if you will run it. If you run it, automatically it will download everything and install everything at the background, and you don't even need to disable the toolbars, the added bloatware that the apps are asking you. Automatically everything will be disabled. Okay, so you just leave it running and it will download everything you need, and it would restart maybe at the end of everything. Now I won't click yes, because if I click yes, the system would run. Okay, so since I'm using an old computer, I will not do it again. So, but I will need that file, okay, in the new system. Okay, so click no. All right, so this is the file that you can run, and all the apps that you have chosen, like all of these will be in the file. Okay, so this is a very nifty tool. Okay, just a tip for you guys, especially if you install it to many different systems. Okay, so with that, I think we are done with the part 3 PC build of 2021. Okay, so just at the end of the day, just update all your drivers and you can install whatever games and apps and whatnot, whatever you need. So there you have it, guys. Thank you very much for reaching up to this point of the video. In this video, I showed you how to install the Windows from the USB thumb drive, where to download the Windows ISO, where to download all the apps for my rig, or at least related to my rig, and to give you some ideas on the apps that I am installing or I have installed in this computer. So again, thank you very much for watching my videos. All the links in the descriptions for the websites that I visited are all there, and all the apps are all listed, and all the links to my previous video for part 1 and part 2 of my PC build to 2021 are also there. So please take time to watch, to give this video a like, and subscribe to my videos for more content on tech, food, and blogging, and whatever comes into mind. So thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for taking time to watch all of this video. Have a good day. See you on the next video. Bye-bye.